was played by Sridhar Mandari, and I think the live have started. Not it. Let's check it out. If it's have started, no, it's still the go live button is not active. Why it's not active? We have excellent connection. That's great. So e4 was the knight to f3. Then after d6, b3 was then played. And there we have, and knight to f6 was applied. That's good. How did she lose a pawn? We'll check it out how she lost a pawn. Kripa Adhikari. Okay, here she just gave up a pawn for free. Was it necessary just giving up a pawn for free? She wants to have some open rook file, but that doesn't make any sense. You you have open rook file. You have open rook file, but you're pawn down. This bishop diagonal is very strong. Not sure if she will be having good. I don't know why players are messaging me. Guys, please. Okay, now I'll not accept any request. That's enough. Once the tournament started, I will not be messaging. I will not be replying to anyone, nor will be accepting any requests. So sorry for that. It's a free tournament, so if I feel like there is no any suspicious, then I will accept. Other than that, sorry. Guys, keep watching. I'll be back in 1 minute. Here is the game of Kripa Adhikari and Sridhar Mandari. Kripa Adhikari already a piece or pawn down. So it's exchange down and pawns and exchange down. 1 minute. This I'll be back. Wow. Okay, I just forgot to remove this and sorry for it. So that happens when you try to. Okay, let's me check it out. That's not what I want to. Okay, let me see more thing that's remaining. Okay, I'll have to put the chat box. I need to put the chat box in the Mapan didn't came, so I got a point for free. So I'm just going to put a chat box in the live section. So guys, just keep commenting. Your comment will be seen in the live itself. So keep commenting, guys. We got so many subscribers. That's great to see. We are increasing, and we are increasing just because of you. Hope you guys are enjoying playing the games, watching it live, and learning good things. If I can increase this size. Okay. If you write a big comment, it will not be seen. If it's small comment, it will be seen. So it's fine. I think it's fine. You can see the chat live chat. So if I can put an image in it, maybe live chat somewhere. I'll do it later. So no problem in this case. So here we have Sitish Bhandari winning Kripa Adhikari very easily. Kripa just gave up a pawn. That was not necessary. But she could. Okay, Suraj Shrestha. Suraj Shrestha is from Thapali Chess Park and he is just competing after Mani Samal. That's really great. He is playing so good. Not even a pawn down. Let's see how the game started. D4 was the game that was played by Suraj Shrestha and Mani Samal just goes for C6 and D6. That's his favorite line maybe. He plays most often every game. So what did he? He went for King 2 at 7 and he went for King 2 G8. Is it a good move? I didn't think it's a good move. He just played so I didn't think that was good enough to be played. He's just giving up tempo. And what is happening here? Isn't it somewhere like knight can go anywhere and just attack? This piece is hanging out here though. If there was something like a check, then it would be very good for white, but that's not there. So here, okay, white is trying to attack the king side. Looks, I like the position of white. White seems to be good. Just go for long side castle, but will he go for sacrificing of his pawn? But I don't think this is necessary out here. How would Mani Samal? How would Mani Samal play in this position? Okay. ANS 958. I know the R we have Azure Limbu. Azure Limbu. Okay, I'll just accept your request. I just have to get the real name IDs. If it's the real name IDs, then I can accept. The other one, I don't think they are necessary to be accepted. That just even ups the game, so that's not necessary to be accepted. So what is this? I was just trying to create some thing. Okay, this is. Where is it? Okay, Mani Samal got. Mani Samal already won a piece, so that's great for. That's great. That's great, guys. Mani Samal wins some time. 6 more games are going on. Here we have Jestha playing with what is his name? I just forget it out. The Leech's side is Monkey King. Maybe he have updated in the Leech's profile. Let's check it out. Okay, no, he haven't done. Maybe some Arial. I think I just forgot his name exactly. Not sure. So okay, here is the game. In case of Jestha winning the game very easily, so we'll go for another game that's going on. Suraj Limbu versus My Soul Lake. My Soul Lake winning Suraj Limbu. 3 pawn up, easily winning the game. Maybe he will just go for king forward, king rook check is there out. We can go for rook here and just capture this pawn. That was also fine, I think. No need to protect this pawn. If you just capture, I'll just bring up the king here or king to e6. Both is fine. King to e6 is easily winning, even if you just go for capturing, and that's over for you. Okay, 2 pass pawn is enough to win the game. Even single pass pawn might be enough to win the game. Request starts increasing. Little Falcon, you are from India, so sorry for that. And think, okay, it's over. We have another round to start. Just life 2009. We have Admiral P. Pepe and Lampard. Okay, our next game with Razan Kunwar, so we'll just try to play with him. We'll go for classic. We'll go for dragon. We could go for knight to knight to c6. So he goes for Alpine variation. I know I can't. So I'll just go for e5, just not letting him to play d4. If we just go for d4, I'll just grab up the pawn. He just captures, so that's fine for me. Just go for. If we go back, then I have bishop coming to the g4, pinning the knight. Okay, this protects it immediately. So maybe I can come to bishop to e6. And he wants to push the pawn. That's fine, no problem. He just goes for d3. What is d3? Okay, I'm getting some calls. Also, it's very bad when I start this streaming, I start playing, then I got many calls. I request everyone to kindly please join the game before the game start. I will not be able to join. I will not be able to accept any of the requests once the game starts. Maybe knight will capture the pawn, and if he just capture, I'll capture with the knight, and bishop capture, I'll bring up the rook and attacks the pawn. Or can I simply bring up the knight here and just capture the pawn? Sorry, I just capture the knight and then bring up the rook to the c8. We go for castle, bishop coming out here. Can I go for queen to c7? Attacks the bishop, goes here. So will that be fine? That's okay for him. I can push the pawn, right? What if I just pushes the pawn to the d5? We'll just capture. I'll just capture. There's nothing more that can happen. If he just pushes the pawn, that will be like I can just go and attack the pawn, bring up the knight here. But my bishop is very strong out here. Can I go for bishop to c4? Looks like very strong, but after pawn pushing the b3, it doesn't seem to be a strong move. So what will I play next? Maybe just bring up the knight here and just go for knight to e5 or even to c5. Both is fine. He just wants to go for this checkmate. I'll just attack the queen. Let's see if live is working fine or not. I always forget to see if live is working fine. Guys, if you're watching, hit the like button. If you have not hit on, let it reach to everyone. Thank you for your 1k subscriber, and we are going to reach 1100 subscriber nearly. Maybe if I could go for this one. Okay, there is an option, but bishop is coming out here next, so that's not the possible idea. If he just plays, that will be an immediate losing for him. I can simply capture with the queen or even with the bishop itself. Bishop will be more good, so you cannot bring up the rook here. Just try to exchange. I'll just capture the rook first. So I'm winning now, exchange, so I can simply, if you capture with the rook, that will be your blunder. So that's the only move you can play. I'll just develop another rook into the game. So I think I'm winning. So let's bring up the rook to the 7th file. Add me Sonu Saha. Okay, Sonu Saha. I don't know, guys. At the end, once the experiment started, it will be really hard for me to play. It was really hard for me to accept any request. I just for someone just got accepted from another country. Helena. Settings. Hey, what will happen if I go here? I'm just targeting pawn, attacking the pawn, L-E-Y, Ane. What's your leech's ID, Sonu Sona? What's your leech's ID, Sonu Sona? If I just capture it out, what will happen? Yeah, I can capture, if you go here, I can capture this pawn as well, and this is completely winning for me. So I think it's better you can resign now. Or Wow, we got many viewers. Guys, we are playing Deepak Bajracharya. Deepak Bajracharya online tournament. He's trying for check to come up here. No problem. I can simply bring up the king out and the g7. If there was bishop check, then there could be some problem. I could even go for knight, bishop to g5, winning this knight. He can come here, but yeah, that was more easy to win as there is next move rook captures and the g2 coming up. Okay, bishop comes there, no problem. I'll just attack the knight. You have to either give check. Yes, you just give up the check. Knight coming to the d5. So maybe possible. Yeah, he just played it out. So what if I go for bishop coming out here? If I just capture, I'll capture with the pawn. And next move I can simply capture. No, I cannot capture this move. I have to bring up the rook somewhere and then after rook checkmate. Or simply another best move is just bringing up the bishop to g3 and then it's over for you. Now, thinking up, and the thing is, it's 8:15 and I might get hungry. It's a time for some food as well. Mani Hari. Let's see what are the comments that is being displayed. That will be more fun. Let's read out some comments. Vivek ni I maza hunte. Vivek is already here. So just go for rook out there. So can I go for simply attack? Let's go for exchange of the rook. Or there was something more than this. Even this is fine. Let's go for capturing of the pawns. Anything this is completely winning. Just go for simple win. Just capture of the pawn. Just go for pawn push, and this is winning already. Okay, let's go for pawn push. Maybe I could play this one and just go for this move as well. How will you defend? Just trying to attack. Okay, he wants to go here. Knight coming out there. So however this is winning, you have to go for either knight or bishop, both is fine. I'll just push up the pawn, knight have to go anywhere and I'll just capture the bishop. Okay, time is over for you. Let's see some more games that going on, guys. We are planning for some study lessons as well. We are trying to have some opening videos and many more. So let's see. Okay, FM Manisamal winning the rook and also winning the game. You don't have to. I think he could just play the move like pawn push, and if he just pushes, this pawn goes here and rook comes out here, then this pawn could be pushed. Looks like a choice position, but not exactly. But queen check is coming up, that's why it's not exactly the draw. So it could be if king was not on the d4. If king was on the d3, then it could be choice position. But if it is on the d4, so there is check coming up when there is pawn coming on the edges, so it's not possible. So it's winning for black. Sorry, it's winning for white. Wow, 150 players participating, and that's a huge number. Thank you everyone who are watching, and of course subscribing to our channel. We are growing, and it's because of you guys we are here. Thank you for everything. Hope you are enjoying playing the tournament and of course making it successful. Case of Jestha winning the game with the Abyss with 20.05 easily winning the game. Let's see what's going on in some of the critical games. Here we have Rahul Chauhan versus Deepak Dhami. Deepak Dhami is playing from Sudar Pachim and Rahul Chauhan is playing from Banepa, or I don't remember exactly, maybe Banepa, I think. Okay, looks like draw is, yeah, it's draw. Neither it have some chances for white, but how would he continue? Maybe he would just go for look here and just try to extend, but that is also not possible. He can simply go and capture the pawn, Or maybe he can just bring up the rook somewhere and just attack this pawn. Like king can go here and bring the rook here, just attacks the pawn, and if he just captures, and then this pawn can be captured. But overall this is draw's position. If you do not know how to play, then it will end up with the losing position. But finally, look at this. Maybe somehow, yeah, it's totally draw. Cannot try for win. Neither white can play for win, nor black. Black have to draw this game, yes. So let's see what's going on in the game. One more game left. We have Raju Tamrakara playing with Jeet Bahadur Khachipati. Jeet Bahadur with the queen and Raju Tamrakar with the double rook, and of course a pawn up, 2 pawn up. Wow. Wow. Let's check it out. What's going on here? Okay, this is fine. Wow. Will this be winning for black? Seems like winning position. If you try to just push up the pawns, then might go for winning. So here it's not possible because queen can immediately capture. So overall, it's if you bring up the king somewhere, looks like you cannot go for. You cannot go anywhere. Like there is check and check, check and check. I can simply go for check, and if you come here, there will be check coming up next. I can simply capture this pawn. Will that be possible? You cannot capture this pawn though. So okay, that's a huge blunder by. Okay, there was only option for king coming to the a4, king a4, and if you just give up the check, and then I can simply capture this pawn. There was some option for this, but you just blunder. King coming to c4. Huge mistake by Raju Tamrakar. Okay, we have another game with Santosh Shrestha. Santosh Shrestha is a teacher, I guess. Okay, we'll go for grand picks. I think I could go for even Amora Gambit as well, but even this is fine. We'll try to play many more openings. We'll also read out the. Okay, what happened to life? Isn't it working? I'm getting calls. That's very bad. Okay, I can go for bishop to b5, b5, f4. Okay, no problem. So that's fine. You can go for d3. Attacks to capture the pawn. Sorry, just capture the knight. Queen captures. Pawn comes out there. Okay, why did I play? What I am playing? I was just going for grand picks. Why didn't I go for f4? Very bad move by. You could go for bishop to g4. I am playing very bad. I had to go for f4 first. So here I have to play f4 now. I'm just losing some tempos. No problem, though. I have a good position now. Just pushes the pawn. Can I capture it out? And if you just capture, I can bring up the knight out here. If you just capture this pawn, I'll just capture. So there's nothing you can do. So if you just capture, I'll capture with the pawn. This pawn is hanging right out this moment. Right now, this pawn is hanging. So that's fine. If you just capture, I'll just capture with the bishop. This pawn is weak. But what if I go and attack the queen? That's not so good. I'll just bring. Can I go for something different? Can I go for knight here? And if we just capture, I'll capture with the pawn. Queen will be attacked. This bishop will be hanging out. So will that be good? I think that's fine. You cannot capture this pawn here, so that's good for me. That's why I just go for knight to d5. Winning a pawn will be my idea here. Winning a pawn, that's winning the game as well. Okay, I'm not receiving enough data. That's very bad out here. What if I just capture this pawn? Just attack the queen. And if queen goes anywhere, like here is the possibility, I can bring up the bishop. Knight captures, then pawn captures. First shuffle. What should I play? Can I capture this one? That's not possible out there. If I bring up the bishop, that's the good idea, most probably. And if you just capture, I have to capture with the pawn. So next move I can bring up the queen out here. Maybe I can bring up the bishop to the f6. But before that I have to protect my knight. So that's possible only if I just pushes up the pawn. And if you just capture, I'll just bring up the rook, attacks the pawn, and of course spinning move b. Okay, what if I just capture this one? It will just capture the... Okay, just bring up the king to the h1. Now I have just blunder. I think I can capture the bishop and winning a piece, right? You have to capture the knight so that I can capture the bishop on the b6. He just blunder over here, so I'm winning a piece. So he just blundered his mate. You didn't see that? Thank you, Santosh. Well played. See, let's see. Go for. We have 58 games going on. We are 3 of 3. Assis is playing with Sanjay Rai. Wow, Sanjay Rai. Both are good players. Okay, guys. We have Assis Vial playing with Sanjay Rai. Guys, hit the like button if you have not done it. Keep enjoying. Okay, what's this? Let me see. What the happening? One minute, guys. I'm back. I'll be back in a minute.
Here we go again. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna
Sorry guys. I went for some water. Here we have Manish Rai playing with Bisal Rai. So there we are. There we have Bisal Rai losing a pawn, but have good position. Where is this? Bisal Rai with white pieces. Maybe this pawn will create some threat. Will this be having some threat? Pawn push. Will this pawn be having some threat out here? If king comes here, that will be a blunder. Like rook can come. Okay, this is also fine. He had to play this one, but again there will be check, and then after he can go for some. Okay, looks like Mani Samal how to play this position. This pawn is not possible. You can simply go and capture the pawn. So what happened if you just capture the pawn? Rook check can come up, but that's not what was going to happen. I think I can just go for capturing of this pawn. So that was fine. Rook check is out there. This pawn is hanging. Why is giving up check? That's not necessary. So you just go for capturing of the pawn. Winning 2 pawns will be winning the game now. Wow. Now it's winning for black. At previous position looks like Roy's position, and that could be somehow a playable position for white too, when he just can capture the pawn and have some pass pawn on the H file that will be well connected with the A file that will be well connected with the B4 pawn. Here white just blunder, and that's already over for white now. Now it's over for white, he just resigns. Let's see another game that's going on, guys. We have more than 14 players that got 3 of 3 points. Mani Samal with 3 of 3 points. Vivek Singh was also there, I guess. Yes, Vivek Singh is here. And made in 14, Pusnan Selval, Hira Kazi Moharjan, Suman Rai, and Susil Subedi, Singh Surdas, Ranjit Rai is out there, and Saman Gaha Magar, Visandhal, and many more players. We have 153 players participating. That's a huge number. I don't know who are the players, but I can see every player's name. Nabin, please. Yes, okay, this is good. Okay, next round is about to start. Just a master. So many requests is out here. Some players from Ukraine. And I don't know. Okay, we are playing with Vivek Singh. That's going to be a good game. Let's see what will happen. Vivek Singh versus Sushil Chaudhary will go for c5. Maybe he'll go for knight to there. I'll just post here. Knight coming to the. Okay, what is this? Where is the mic? Knight. Bishop coming to the b5. So this captures the pawn. That's fine. I'll just capture with the pawn itself. Next move I can go for d5. Most probably if you play e5, I'll not go for it. I'll go for knight coming to the e6. If I can capture this one, so I'll capture with the pawn, I think. I am getting folds. Getting some disturbance. If I push the pawn, what can I play next? What should I play? 1 minute, guys. It's hard to play the game. I need to go for castle. I'll go for g6. Maybe he'll try for f5. That's also possible. f5 is a good move, but immediately f5 cannot be possible out here. He might go for queen to e1. That's possible, but he didn't go for it. Maybe he'll go for g4 now. g4, then after f5. That's the theoretical move for Grand Prix. He will go for g4. Most probably he will go for g4. No, he didn't went for it. Can I go for knight to f5? Knight to f5 is possible, but if he plays g4, what will I play? So I'll not let him to come to the e4. So the thing I need to play is this breaks through somewhere. But if I play this move, he's gonna play g4. If queen comes out in the any position, so if we play this move, I can play c4. Let's bring up the bishop out here. What should I play? I know from where I should attack. Maybe you can go for knight to f5 if he pushes the pawn. Then maybe you can go for pawn push, or even this pawn push. No, he just played something else. Bishop coming to. Bishop coming out there. What if I go for queen to a5? He can capture the pawn, and I can capture the bishop itself. Bishop coming out here. Go for pawn push, knight comes out here, just captures the pawn, so he didn't play it. Just try to exchange. Okay, he wants to. Okay. Looks like some critical moment at this. If I go for capturing of this one, then this pawn will be hanging out, so I have to think of how to manage this game to at least have some good one. My queen is hanging out there. Can I go for capturing of this capture, and then after how to protect this pawn? Can I go for another thing? Can I go for attack somewhere? I go this one. If I go this move, it will just capture, and bishop capture, knight capture is also possible. So I think I have to play this move. So what he played this one, I'll just capture this one. So it looks like I'm losing a pawn, but that's fine for me. This pawn is not that much important as that should be. Attacks, okay, just capture it out. I have to move up my rook. Maybe I could bring up the rook out here as well. What you will play, you cannot play this move. He just pushes the pawn. Okay, I'm in time pressure already, so I have to think more faster. I have to think much faster. This rook is hanging. There is no way to. How shall I play this move? How shall I move up? If I can attack the. Okay, this is losing position for me. Just capture everything. It's losing, guys. It's losing. I think I should resign now. Okay, Vivek wins the game. Maybe I blundered somewhere. Where was that? Let's analyze this one. Looks like I had a good position somewhere. f4. I could go for c4 and then after d5. That's also possible. He just pushes up the pawn. d5 was not so good. So rook coming to b7, not letting bishop to develop. It's fine, I think. b6. Best was knight to g6. And if he just pushes the pawn, then just capture it out. Queen comes out there, pushes the pawn. Push the pawn, knight coming out there. Okay, this is completely losing after knight comes out there. Okay, this is losing. I just missed up. Knight coming to e4. So let's see what's going on in the game. There are 31 more games going on. Ranjit Rai winning a pawn. Ranjit Rai with white pieces, but already in a trouble to give up the exchange. So he can simply capture this one, or even this is also possible. So lost the exchange and also pawn. Ranjit right, losing the position, watching and playing. Haha, Vivek. Everyone does same. That's a fun game. I could play something there. I could go for knight to b6. Maybe I'll prepare for it in the next one. So you have to wait and watch. So you just go capture. But this is winning for black. This is pinned. This pawn is hanging. If you try to protect with the knight coming to c4, even I can go and capture the b3, like rook captures, then rook captures the knight itself, or you can simply go for bishop capturing the pawn. So it's fine, it's completely winning for black. Wow. We'll try to consider more. I'm getting some much more disturbance as well in home today, as I haven't eaten the food. So that happens when you do not eat the food. Your mom will come, or your father will come to at least go and have your food. So we have Mani Samal playing with Mission Dahal. Mani Samal winning a pawn with an opposite color bishop. So if rook get exchanged, so it might end up with draw, but not exactly. To king is entering to the territory of blacks, so it's winning for white. You can simply go for king to g4, sorry g6, king from g4 to f5, and then after king to g6, just go for capturing of this pawn. This pawn is also captured. Every pawn is captured, and it's over for you. I don't know. There's a way he's just taking up the time, or he's trying for something like pawn push, and just give check, and then after let's go for queen. That would be more easier. That's also winning. Yeah, he's just trying for same. As there is no way for black to continue, let's go for capturing of this rook. Let's capture. Okay, is that mate? No, black just resign. Yeah, this is also completely winning. This bishop check, losing everything. Asis versus Hirakazi Mohorzan. Hirakazi Mohorzan winning a piece, and of course winning a pawn as well. Wow. Hirakazi Mohorzan is the secretary of Nepal Chess Association, and he plays a really great game. But the end game for him is not that as good as he thinks. Last time he was winning the game as well. But what is this? Okay, what is he? There is no check, and just gave up the rook for free. And what did he play? What a blunder by Hirakazi Mohorzan. That was very bad game by Hirakazi Mohorzan, and seems like this game will end up with draw. Maybe black could just protect this pawn and then after attack the pawn. But now this game looks like a draw's position. There is no, I think, no way if this two get extends and rook versus bishop will be a draw game. Maybe black can try for something. Just go for king to f4. Now here bishop. I'll go for king to e3. Attacks the knight again. Maybe I can go for knight check. Is that possible? Black will try for some game. Black will try for some win. What will he play? Looks like draw is position though, but now the chance is only for black rather than white. He just gave rook coming to f5. Was that pre-move, or that was just a blunder played by Hirakazi Mohorzan? So just give check, maybe knight check. So what is he trying to do? Isn't it just capture the knight and it's over? Okay, just to go for draw. I think he will go for it. It's draw. So still he's trying for some game, pawn push. So even if you just capture the, okay, just blunder over here, black is grabbing the bishop, but that do not make any sense, as there's queen coming up next. If you make the queen, there will be rook check. Okay, I didn't see. This is rook hanging out here. Now I can go for bishop to e4. Okay, this is winning for white again. What was that? Rook to b7. It was winning, it was draw, it was again winning, it was completely draw, and then just rook to b7 is losing. Wow, that's bad. It's a positional game where white plays for double pawn on c5. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Another game is coming up here. Bishton, that is Bishop or Azuli, I think. Bishop or Azuli, yeah. We are playing with Bishop or Azuli. Let's see. He goes for French defense and we'll go for Bishop coming to b3. That's the line I prefer. If it comes knight on the f6, then I could go for Bishop coming back to f3. I can go Bishop to g5, pinning the knight. And if we just go back, that's fine for me. So many viewers, hit the like button if you have not done that. And thank you guys for always supporting. And of course, we are near to the 1100 subscriber. That's a huge number. We are growing. Thank you for it. Okay, here I think I can somehow, if queen was not here, I could go for knight to b5. That's also possible. But now, what's the idea? Maybe we can push the pawn and just push and push, not letting black bishop to come over. Here I can go for this one as well, just create a threat on the queen side, or simply go for queen to c2 and bring up the rook to the d1. This attacks my bishop. I'll come back. If you just push the pawn, I can bring up the bishop to g3, and if you just capture, I'll capture with the knight itself, so it's fine for me. Next move, I might go for a knight coming to the h5, so it's not immediately necessary. I can go for a knight to e4 as well, so why not to play rook coming out here? Can I go for knight to, is knight coming here is good move. I think this is good one. So can I capture with the queen? And if you just push the pawn, I can simply capture with the queen here. But next move, this knight is coming out here, so I can just extend the knight. If he pushes the pawn, so what should I do? If I go for knight check, I'll just capture. I'll capture with the bishop. So that's the problem. What should I play next? So I have to bring up my queen back. La 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 la. Let's bring up another rook to the game. If you push the pawn, I can capture it out. Okay, can I capture this bishop? We'll capture with the queen itself. So this is also fine. Comes here, I'll just pin up the knight here. I don't think you have any idea. I'll just capture this pawn, or I'll go for knight check and just capture the knight. I think that will be winning for me immediately. If you just go and capture, this is not capturable as queen is just guarding it out. You don't have queen, you just have queen coming up here next. So maybe I can bring up the rook here and just bring up the rook out here, so he just protects it immediately. So that's a good move. Was that the only move that could be played? Now the knight can go anywhere. Or what if I just go and capture the pawn? I'm not able to say anything today. Where should I go? Let's go and simplify the piece. Let's go and simplify the piece. If I capture this, he will just capture this pawn. So there is nothing that can happen. So shall I go and defend with, shall I go for rook 3? Rook coming to the e3, rook 2, b4. Okay, this is also fine, I think. I'm in time trouble now. Okay, guys, we have a good position here. I think this would be winning for me. The king and the g6 is not so good. Looks somehow good position out here. Rook can come on the d1. I can go for king to f2. Just bring up the queen out there. I think I can go for rook to e3 now. If I try to just extend, that will be my forced move to extend. That will be forced to extend now. But the thing is, I'll not capture it out. Just attacks my queen. I have to extend now. But should I move up the queen? I have to give check. There's no idea other than that. I have to give check. I can capture with the knight, but will that make any sense? I'll just capture with the rook then. If knight comes out, I'll just protect the pawn first. Okay, just protect the pawn. If rook check, I'll just bring up the king. He just attacks the pawn. No problem. It's fine. There might be some winning in the middle game. I couldn't figure it out. But still, this is not the losing position. You try to extend, I'll just try to extend. I'll just bring up the king to the... And what if I just push the pawn? This pawn push and just create a pass pawn. Just creating a pass pawn, that might be winning. And just if you just capture, pawn push, just capture, and then pawn push to go to the... That's fine. Where will this rook go now? Let me check it out first. Rook comes out here, we'll bring up the king. We got a passer. So maybe I can push the pawn. Maybe I can go with this capture and then after rook coming to the c5 or rook 2. We'll bring up the rook here. No, he just pushes the pawn. Go for rook check. Can I go for rook check? Okay, this is fine. If king comes up, I'll give rook check and just capture the pawn. What if he just pushes the pawn? So I'll just keep check. If it comes up, first push the pawn. If he just pushes the pawn, let's go for check. Try to attack. Okay. Push this pawn. I have rook check here. Looks like Roy's position, but how to play? Try to attack. I cannot go here because this pawn is hanging, so it's draw. So I will be satisfied with the draw rather than losing the game. There might be some winning out there, but I didn't think of it. Okay, Suman Rai winning a rook or what? Yes, he's winning a rook and also winning the game as well. What a good game by Suman Rai. He is winning the rook and winning FM Mani Samal. Isn't that a great one? And here you have a bishop advantage and also a pawn advantage. So this is winning for white. Let's see. Guys, watching, I'll be back having some food with you guys. So keep enjoying. Enjoy the game. I'll be back in a minute. So I'll put a game that will be last for more minutes. So which one will be this? This one looks interesting. Big thing versus case of Jestha, big thing winning a pawn. Let's check it out how big thing will win the game. So I have my mic off, so that's bad. Can I go for knight coming to the g4? Knight to g4, knight captures knight. Knight g4, knight captures knight, pawn captures knight, and bishop coming to g d4. Possible. Bishop to d4. What if I just go for e5? Where will go his bishop? Bishop coming out here next. So shall I go for knight to this captures. Okay, I just can capture, I think. I just capture with the king itself. If he pushes somewhere, go for alongside castle, rook coming to the b8, and if you just keep check and just capture this pawn, that's possible. But the thing is, I'll just capture the pawn and the f2, so that's not possible exactly. Just trying to create some threat on the king side. If he just pushes the pawn, I will not capture it out. If you just capture, I'll just capture. Okay, what if I push the pawn double? I know exactly what to be played next. F4 for this pawn. And if he just pushes the pawn, I think this is possible here. Yeah, if you just capture and capture with the knight. Today I'm not able to play. Today I'm not able to speak much more louder. Much more louder. So guys, if you just capture the pawn, I'll just capture with the knight itself. And if you just keep check, no problem. I can go for even f5 as well. But if you just pushes the pawn, that's also possible. So bishop coming out there. If I capture this pawn, he just captures and captures with the knight. Is that possible move? What if I bring up the rook here? Capture, capture, knight capture. Okay, that's playable position. I think that should be capturable. If we do not play this, I can just capture the pawn out here, and maybe I'll be winning a pawn and also winning the game. What's going on? Toggle request. Two live streamings been shown out there. I have to close one. So I think I can capture this now. As rook is just guarding and everything. And if you just capture, I'll capture with the pawn itself. If you just push the pawn, I'll just capture. And if you just capture, I have queen capturing the rook. So this must be winning a pawn and also winning the game as well. Knight can come to the e5 next move. Maybe I can just capture the bishop. And if you bring up the rook here, no problem. Okay, queen comes out there. So can I push this pawn? Just protecting the knight. So that's fine. I can develop my bishop next and also protect the knight. So if you bring up the, if he just brings here, maybe you can bring up the knight to the e5, attacking the bishop. The thing is, you can push the pawn, so I have to bring up my knight on the f6 itself. Also, I can bring up the queen to the e5 as well. This attacks my, it just attacks my pawn on the f6. Sorry, f7, f7. So I have to bring up this bishop is not attackable. I can bring my queen to the e5. Attack my knight. This captures. So let's go and attack his bishop. Once I go and capture the bishop, that would be a good one for me. Maybe I can go for knight check. If we just capture, then after I can capture the bishop. But that's fine as well. But why should I go and capture the? I have to try something different. I can go for pawn push or what? If I go for pawn push, knight is coming to the d5, so that's not so good. It's trying to create some threat. Is he trying to create some threat? What is he trying to play? I'm not sure. I'm just going for pin. I I think I'll just capture this one, or I can simply capture and give check. Or this is also fine. If you just capture, I'll give check and just capture the rook first. Okay, I'll not capture with the pawn, I'll capture with the queen. So that's fine now. I'm winning 2 pawns. Also, I can bring up the rook here and just keep up check and just exchange everything and winning the game. Yeah, this is completely fine for me. He cannot bring up the rook to the edge file. He might be trying for the same. So he's trying to attack this pawn. So what will I play? I'll not let him to capture the pawn. So let's try to exchange if he pushes the pawn. So that's fine for me. If you push this one, with this capture, and pawn capture is also possible out there. Next move, my rook can come to the h3. No, he didn't want me to. Rook to h3 is good one, I think. Okay, this is losing for you now. Okay, go for this. I'll go for check first and just capture the rook. Losing. Yeah, he just resigns. Thank you, Santosh Gautam. Let's see the game of Vijeshwar versus Keshav Shrestha. Keshav Shrestha winning the piece, winning the pawn, queen versus 3 pieces, and this is completely winning for black. How will he win the game? Let's see how will he win the game. Just trying to give check, check, check. This check might come up. So comes here. That's might be the only move, or he can go for king to g6 as well. Okay. If somehow he can just go and capture this, then this could be good for white. But that's not possible. That's not possible, guys. So he cannot capture the rook over here. So this is winning for black. I think he'll just push up the pawn. Okay, this pawn is also pushable. So this is winning for black. Maybe you'll go for check. So why should I give check? Bishop coming out here, I'll just push the pawn again. So okay, this pawn is also captured. It's a Shrestha taking some time. It's 10 seconds in his clock. Maybe we'll just push up the pawn now. He's giving up this pawn to be captured. White didn't capture the pawn. Okay, we'll just capture the pawn, then there is rook check coming up next. Simply winning the queen and then winning the game. Keshav Shrestha have to win the game. Just capture this pawn as well. He might go for check. I'll just move up the king forward, move up the king forward, and there is no next check, and this is winning for black. There must not be any check more. King comes up, king goes to the more. Okay, there are checks coming up, but aren't it defendable? Like if king comes up here, even if we give check, and this rook is captured, but this is winning for black. One push, rook check. Rook can be defendable, or even bishop can defend it, and you have to go and guard this pawn. King comes up, and it's completely over for white now. White have no option. He can black can also play this one. Yeah, they just played. But what happened if he just captured this rook? Will he go for check? That's not the good move. If you go for check, then rook can simply defend it, and there's no more check. The only idea is just capture the rook, and maybe he can just go and capture this one as well, and just go and capture this pawn as well. Then it could be draw. So he didn't do that. Seems like this game can end up with draw, but okay, there is check, double check, so it's over for white now. Keshav Shrestha wins it. One more game left. We have Chamangaha Magar versus Mahendra Aryal. Mahendra Aryal. Or Madan Aryal, sorry, it's Madan Aryal, not Mahendra Aryal. Madan Aryal with a pawn up. but it's hard for black to play. What was that happened? What was that? Was that piece being captured previously as well? So gives check, king comes up. Why did he go for rook coming? Rook was there. Okay, there was rook check, force move. King comes up. King comes there. Then isn't there some protective move like bishop can't go anywhere? But this will simply capture the pawn. So he just gave up the piece for free. So this is somehow winning for white now. There was a pawn up for black, but this is completely winning for white now. Samangaha Magar winning the game. Samangaha Magar is from Butwal, I think. Yeah, I think he's from Butwal, and this is winning, completely winning for white. I have to resign now. Let's wait. What will he play? Okay, this is also captured now. Rook check and queen check somewhere and mate. Rook goes back and queen checkmate. Wow. Finally, he resigned. Round 6 is over. We have round 7 to go. We lost a game with Vivek Singh. Vivek Singh with 6 of 6 and Sitish Bhandari drawing a game with drew a game. Sitish Bhandari draw a game with Hirakaji Moharjan. Hirakaji Moharjan also he's also playing so good. I think he'll go for Karakan. He mostly plays Karakan nowadays. Previously he used to play. Okay, he goes for Park. He goes for Park. I'll go for Grand Picks again. I'll go for Bishop to C4 rather than Bishop to B5 now. When knight is developed, bishop to b5 is played when just to capture and just make the isolated pawn and just play with the positional as Vivek said in the chat box. Mostly this happens. Okay, f5 is coming up. f5 is coming up next. Rook is coming here. Think next move f5 is completely winning for white. f5, bishop to h6, queen to h4. What will you play? You don't have knight coming back there. Is he trying for this pawn? A small threat here coming up, so just defend it out with the a4 queen coming up there next. Okay, let's play f5 here. f5 is, I think, immediately winning here. Let's play it. Bishop coming to h6 or bishop to g5, both is fine. Bishop to g5, think will be winning. More faster, I can simply capture this one, capture and just go for. Now I can just go and capture this pawn first. If you just go for capture, I have my pawn to be captured and just go for capture of the knight. Okay, now I can go for queen there, queen to h4. And if you just capture, I'll just capture. I have bishop coming up here next. So I think this is winning for white. This must be winning for white. How will he defend? I have bishop h6 coming up next. Is there any defending move? Knight goes anywhere, that is completely winning. After queen to, okay, what was I going to do? Queen to h7 is winning. If the queen comes here, I can simply move up the king. And then after I can bring up the bishop. What will he play? Just move up the rook. And if I just bring up the bishop goes back and just bring up the. Okay, this is fine, I think. Bishop have to go back. Or else if he just capture, I'll just capture and then after queen to h8 checkmate. And if bishop goes back, I have bishop coming to g5. And I can capture, then after pawn capture, then queen check. Or the thing is, I can bring up the bishop to the f8, or also I can bring up the rook to the f1. Okay, just move up the knight. So I can capture, king capture. What if he just bring up the rook after I push the pawn on the g4? I can capture the knight. I am winning a piece. or simply move up the. Okay, just capture. You have to capture with the king itself, and then after just push up the pawn. Okay, give check. I'll just bring up the king to the h1. I can bring up the rook to the. If you just capture, I'll bring up the queen. Rook to g1, rook to g1, or rook to f1. Both is possible. Rook to f1 looks more good. Rook to f1 looks more good. Since that knight cannot come to the f4. Okay, if knight goes to f6, that will be immediate mate. Like queen come to h6, and then after queen to h8 checkmate. So this is winning for me. This should be winning for me. But if I move my king queen somewhere, another rook might come up. Rook is hanging, so he might go and capture the rook first. I'm winning a piece, but still my king is not so good. This should be like, okay, he can capture this pawn as well. Shall I bring my rook to the f1? No problem even if he captured this pawn. I can bring up my queen to f3, attacks the pawn. I have to defend it with the. Okay, just push the pawn. Can I have some threats? Can I bring up the rook here? Attacks the queen. Queen keep check. I'll bring up the king to the. Just go for attack here. I need my knight to be developed. Knight to f4. Knight check. Just captures the pawn. I'm just giving up everything. That's very bad for me. Just giving up every pawn. That's not so good. He will just go and capture the another pawn as well. Let's bring up the knight here. Let's go for rook, attacks the pawn. Just capture. I think I have to bring up the knight here. Just capture, attacking the pawn. Just attack this pawn now. Okay, just can defend it out here. Oh my god, that's a bad move by me. I think I don't have any option to be played now. Just a blunder. Just capturing this pawn as well. And seems like I'm losing now. Though winning these pawns. 3 pawns being not to be captured. 3 pawns versus knight. Looks like draw is position, but that was completely winning. I just gave up everything. That's very bad. I cannot push the pawn. Okay, he just try for some checks. But if I go here, let's bring up the king too. And if king comes up, I have rook check here. Maybe he's trying for this pawn to be pushed. Before that, I'll just move up the rook to the. What should I play? If I go here, that would be a blunder. So let's move up the king to the. Let's attack the pawn. And if he pushes this pawn, that will be good for me. So he didn't do that. Okay, what should I play? Just go for attack of the pawn. And if he puts this pawn, I'll just capture this one. And king attacks, then can I go and capture this pawn? I'll capture with the rook. Okay. Okay, I got a pawn and of course rook as well. Can I give check? Let's capture this pawn as well. Whoa, he gave up everything. That's great. Looks like I have to at least go and win this game. Maybe I can bring up the knight somewhere first. Okay, this looks like a draw's position, but I'm not sure if I will be able to let him go in the final rank. Then it might be a winning position for me. So I'll try to have that position somehow. I'll try to get that position. If I can defend that square. Okay, I just move up the knight somewhere. Maybe I can just bring up the king over here somewhere, king here. Might be. Seems like a draw's position. Okay, this is the final try, and maybe we'll be winning the game. Okay, just offers to draw. I will not accept. It's already in the final rank. If it was not in the final rank, then I might have accept the draw. But now I think this is winning. Now it seems like winning the game. And if it comes here, this is completely already winning. So maybe I can try for something different. So knight comes here, this is winning. If knight is there, then that's winning. We didn't have any square to be played. So you got a mate over here. So still not. If rook check, then I'll come here, and then after rook check is possible, but I'll capture with the knight. So this is winning. If I capture with the king, then that will be stalemate. But if I capture with the knight, that's winning. It will be winning in the f8. Take the bishop to f8. It will be winning the f8. That was winning. That's great to be played. Knight rook versus rook. If your opponent just go to the final rank, then it will be easier to just mate it out. We'll go for dodge defense. Maybe just capture. I'll just capture. Maybe we'll try for something like e4, f4 as well. I don't know. We'll go for a castle, and somehow I'll just go for f4 to be played. Let's go for attack. No problem. Queen to b3 is mostly played. Let's go for capture. Is he trying for some threats? If he just capture, I'll just capture with the bishop. or something like that. Can I move my bishop out here, pinning the pawn? If he just pushes the pawn, that will be a blunder for me. So here, I think I can push the pawn, and if he just capture, I'll just capture, and if he just capture this, I can just pin the knight, winning the piece. So that is not possible though. I think I can simply capture it out. Just try to exchange. If knight captures, I'll just capture. I'll just bring the bishop back to e7. Queen exchange. That will be everything exchanged. That's fine, I think. Okay, just capture this one. I'll just capture with the rook. And if you just no, I'll just capture with the bishop. And if you just capture, I'll capture with the bishop itself. So he wants me to exchange. Here, knight capture is also possible. Both is fine. I'll capture with the queen first. Just attacks my bishop. Of course, attacks the pawn out there. So shall I go my bishop back or just pin the? This is more good. So if you just capture the queen, I'll just capture with the bishop. So I just give out the check out there, the check. So I have to move up the. Can I go for this move? And what if queen captures queen? I will just simply capture the knight. I think this is playable position. Looks like I have to go my king somewhere. This is not so good. But if he just captured the pawn, that might not be so good. The exchange. This pawn is hanging out here. This pawn will be hanging when knight goes anywhere. So maybe I can just move up the knight or simply capture this pawn as well. How to defend this pawn? Pawn on the b7. Of course, if knight goes anywhere. Yeah, I knew the knight have the idea here. Knight goes there. So what should I play next? Can I simply go and capture this pawn? Sorry, knight. Okay, I can bring my bishop out here. I cannot capture this one. Bishop is capturing. How to protect the pawn? If I put my rook here, he will just capture the pawn. And what next? Shall I just simply develop the knight? Okay, I think this is fine. And if you just keep check, I'll just move somewhere. And if you just capture this pawn, I'll just bring up the rook here and just capture the pawn. That will be fine for me. Think that would be fine. Just trying to exchange. If knight captures the pawn, I'll bring up the rook to the b7, attacks the knight. And of course, this knight is not so good. Maybe the knight will be trapped somewhere. If the bishop goes to b2, maybe this will be trapped. What's the message coming out? What are the messages? Okay, what is he thinking of? Maybe he's trying to capture the knight or capture the pawn. No, he didn't do anything. Neither he captured the pawn, neither he captured the. So he's trying to come to the. He's trying to come to the c7, attacking my rook. So shall I defend my rook here? This is also not possible. I have to capture the. So this is the only possible idea. Bishop capture. I'll capture. I'll just attack the bishop. A bishop comes here. I can simply capture the pawn, I think, and rook comes here. Just bring up the bishop back and bishop capture. So he just attacks my pawn. Let's attack the bishop first. Then maybe I can just grab up the pawn here. Just grab up the pawn and bring up the rook to the d7. Okay, shall I go and capture this? Seems like how will he defend? Looks like how will he defend. Or shall I go and capture the pawn on the b2? Pawn to b2 attacks my. Okay. Knight goes here. If I go here, knight goes here. Maybe if knight goes here, I have to bring up my rook over here, or even rook 2. If knight goes here, I can bring my rook out here, and then after knight rook comes here, both is possible move. Okay. If rook comes out here, I can simply capture. Rook capture, this is not possible. And if bishop comes out here, I can simply bring up the rook to the d2. Next move, my bishop is coming to the d4, attacking this square. So just protect the pawn first. Okay, this was already protected. But why need to protect my knight that was hanging out? Okay, just bring up my bishop somewhere. Attacks the pawn on the a2. How will he defend? He's trying to extend. I'll just capture this pawn also. Maybe next move I can bring up the knight here. So let's push the pawn first, not letting my opponent to have some backrank threat. So this might create some threat for my opponent. I'm coming my rook to the e2. He's already in time pressure, and so am I. Rook to e2. This attacks the pawn. Just defend it out. So shall I go for pass, sir? Pass pawn, pass pawn, pass pawn, and this might be winning for me. This is protected by my rook. Well protected by my rook. So let's go for it. I don't know what is he planning for. Let's go for it. If knight comes here, I'll just capture the knight. I don't need anything. I have the pass pawn. So there is no bishop checks, so that's why. Oh, he got an idea out here. He's trying for some threats. So let's give up the pawn. Maybe I can go and attack the bishop. Just capture. Okay. He's trying to create some threat. What is this? Can I capture for free? He was trying for rook to f4 maybe. He's trying for rook to f4 maybe. But he just lost it. Wow, we have 7 more games going on, guys. Badilal Nepali is playing. Badilal Nepali is playing with Maheshwar Adhikari, and Badilal Nepali winning 4 pounds. This is completely winning for Badilal Nepali. Guys, he just blundered. Hirakaji Moharjan. He plays good enough, and he just blundered. That's great. Good for me. And we are in top 5 already. And today I have to create some. Right, okay. We have 3 more rounds to go. 3 more rounds and 3 more games left. Keep watching, guys. I'll be back in a minute. Keep watching. Do not go anywhere. We have Jod Limbu playing with uh, Nissan. Nissan. Nissan's Resta, maybe. I think I don't know him exactly. I just forgot. Okay. We have Royce game. Looks like a draw game. But will this make any sense? The pawn is moving forward, and maybe black will try to win the game. Yeah, black have some chances. Let's see what will happen. Keep watching, guys. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, we have already winning position here for black. So black is completely winning. You have also Limbo winning the game with Nissan Jestha, most probably. So this is completely winning, and here black just resigned. We have next round to be started very soon. It is Bandari again with 7 points, winning the game with Vivek Thing and also drawing the game with wow, Samrat is here. Mani Samal, FM Mani Samal playing with us will go for some trades. What as the mess is coming up? I don't know if it's showing for you guys as well. I can go for knight to e5, but pawn is pushed. So here I'll just simply go for castle. Maybe he can bring up the queen somewhere. What is he planning for? Queen to e1, queen to h4. Some threats coming up. Will he go for longside castle? Not sure of that. Knight to e5 is my next move. If he will not capture the knight, that will be bad for him. Yeah, he just immediately captured. The threat was coming immediately. He might go for queenside castle. So for that, I just move up the pawns. Yeah, he just played it out. If I can bring this bishop somewhere, so first of all, I'll just move up the pawns. Maybe. Okay, where will his knight go? We can bring up the knight here. Bring up the queen to queen to c3. But if I boost the pawn here, let's boost this pawn. If knight comes out here, that's also possible. I'll just bring up the king, queen to. Let's try for queen to f1. I will try for knight coming out here. And then after c4, what will he play? He might go for some attack. Knight can come out here. Knight coming to the e4 maybe. What if I just simply push the pawn? Knight e4 is not possible. Even capturing the pawn is not possible. This pawn is attacked. Okay, knight to e4 is not possible here. Let's develop the bishop first. Knight e4, just capture and I'll be a pawn up. So let's bring up the rook into the game. What this message is coming up? Let me log out. Okay, pawn is hanging out here. Can I capture this one? Pawn captures here. Pawn is attacked. If I go for queen to f2, if I simply capture, pawn captures. Queen to f2, rook captures rook, bishop captures. So that's fine for me. You cannot capture this pawn. The thing is, knight to e4 is very dangerous over here. So I have to think of it. Maybe we can go for h3, then after g4 here. Or he might go for h5. I have no threat on the king side. Okay, just capture the pawn. Is there anything? Okay, the blunder is out here. Okay, that's the huge blunder that I made up. I just made a huge blunder. Not a huge, but giving up a pawn for free here might be a huge for me, as there is no any option now. This capture I have to capture with the bishop itself. Cannot capture with the knight, with knight goes back. and goes back to attack my pawn. Maybe he can try for this, but that's not possible immediately. Okay, he just try for it. Again the same mistake. Again the same mistake. Again the same mistake happened here. What was I thinking of? I cannot capture this one. That's again same mistake. That's very bad for me. I don't know what I'm playing. I should resign this one. Very bad. Very bad. I was thinking he cannot push the pawn, and same mistake. I will show you what will happen if I just capture this one. The simple move here, bishop to c5, will just. This is called pin. You should never be in pin. So that's very bad for me. Let's see the other game that's going on. Assis Fuel versus Sitish Bandari game going on. Sitish Bandari winning 2 pawns. Yeah, yeah, white have 2 pawns, but black have some threats on the king side. Will white be able to protect this? Yes, white have some pieces coming to the king side, and I think white will be able to protect this immediately. Knight if comes on the e5. If we capture this one, then simply black can simply capture this one. But this is completely winning for white. I'll just capture the pawn, and it's over for you. Queen captures. Over for you. Rook comes here. I'll bring up another rook, and he just resigns. Wow. Since Bandari with 8 points, there is no one to defend him now, I think. Almost he played with everyone, Ranjit Rai. I think the next player will be I think Sudeep Tamang that will be playing. Let's see the game of Sudeep Tamang and Vivek Singh. Whoever wins will be playing with. Okay, Sudeep Tamang winning. No, there was knight hanging out. So this looks like Roy's position itself. Everything is equal, but Vivek Singh is in time pressure. Mostly happens for Vivek Singh, but he manages to go for it. He likes to play in time pressure, or I don't know, or he thinks of a much in the middle game, and also in not in the opening but in the middle game itself. He tries to make some plans, and he plays brilliantly in time pressure. There will be very less mistake in the time pressure too. Yeah, he's the highest rated player of Nepal. Guys, I'm not that energetic that I used to be today. I'm a little bit tired of my work, and of course some exercises that I had. So forgive me if you find me tired. So here maybe white have to at least do not give backline problems somehow that might create some threat in the end game. Or how will you attack? You'll go for king somewhere or rook somewhere, rook coming out here. What if rook comes here? That be possible. Rook comes here and we just attack the pawn. But yeah, this looks like Joyce. Sorry, looks like Joyce just push the pawn. You just capture, rook captures, and even if you exchange the rook, this single rook is Roy's position. But Vivek Singh can make it win. He is very good in the end game. I love his end game. So if you just go and capture this rook, that will be somehow winning for black. Maybe creating a pass pawn on the center square. So will this pass pawn create some threat for? Okay, white comes up. I don't know. This is called outside pass pawn versus outside pass one is always winning. So looks like winning position for white. Outside pass one is always winning, so this is winning for white. That means Vivek Singh is losing. Here I think just push the pawn, and if you just capture, king capture, and maybe just try for some attack. Okay, this is also winning. This is fine. Just capture the pawn. Yeah, this is winning for white. Just push up the pawn. Just push this pawn. Doesn't know what will black play now. This is winning. Just capture the pawn, and white is winning. Guys, you should always remember outside pass pawn is also always winning. Outside means far from the king, and black had the center pass pawn, whereas white had the outside pass pawn, and this is winning for white. Okay, Vivek just captured rook, just captured the pawn, and that made him lose the game. Maybe now next game will be with Sudip Tamang versus Chidis Vandari and some other players. Where maybe then after the final game will be with the Badilal Nepali versus Chidis Vandari that will be played. Two more rounds to go, guys. We lost a game. Thus with Manish Amal, that was bad. So let's see how was that happen. Let's check it out. Where did we blunder? Okay, bishop to d6 was bad move. Maybe he had some threats. Go for capture. Capture bishop to d6 is not good. I could have simply captured. He has this bishop to d6. Here he just blunder upon, but I didn't capture. Why did I? So okay, here's this blunder. I could have captured the pawn. I didn't see it, so that went to a mistake. Bishop development. I just go for castle. Knight comes out there. Queen to e1. Just capture. Rook captures. Queen comes here. Pawn push. For castle. Pawn push. Go for pawn push. Maybe queen to b6 was pushable. Knight comes out there. Bishop develop. Pawn push. Okay, here I just have to capture this knight. I just forgot that pawn is being captured. So that's the threat that happened. I just move up the queen, trying to protect the pawn, but that is captured because if we just here knight captured, and here if I capture the knight, then after bishop to c5 was the brilliant move by black. So he had blunder upon on the opening itself, but why didn't I see that? Today I'm not that much energetic. That might be the condition. So one more left, guys. Isan Nepal playing with the Mathura Shrestha. Isan Nepal. So it looks like winning position for white. 3 pawns with a knight is winning for a rook with a rook. So king coming to g5. So king to g5 was also winning. And just push the pawn. 3 pass pawn coming together is always winning along with the knight. Even 3 pawn is not necessary. Maybe 2 pawns will be also winning. In some condition, there might go with a draw, but in this condition, it should be winning for white. Now pawn push. So this pawn push check. King have to go down. Again pawn push check. King have to go down. I'll just bring up the king to the g6 and okay, white might create some threat here. What was that? Maybe I'll just go and capture the pawn on the g5. What you will play? You cannot capture the pawn as there is king in the stalemate. You cannot capture with the king as this is also stalemate. So there was some threat like this. So always remember when you are in stalemate, you have to think of stalemate. You have to think here as well. So what is that? Rook comes here. What if I go and capture the knight here? Check. Pawn capture. Again, this is stalemate. Look at this position. Wow. Wow. Black didn't find it out. His son Nepali winning the game, but Mathura Shrestha didn't see it. Look at this. You have to capture this knight. Forcefully, white have to capture now. If you do not capture, then it might end up with losing position as well. Like if king comes up here, I'll just capture this pawn as well. And then after this pawn, if I'll be able to capture, then this is will be winning for black. So what was that? That was a great idea for black out there, but he didn't see it. So Mission Dahal, our next opponent, is from Zappa or Tamak. Maybe both are same. When I see such position, I get energy from inside as it came up for a few minutes. What is that? Mathura Shrestha didn't see it. That's very bad for you. Maybe I can bring up the knight. I just can't capture. If you just push up the pawn. Okay, just push the pawn double. Just capture. So you can push the pawn double. I'll just capture with the pawn. Knight have to capture it back, or you will be losing a pawn. Then I can go for pawn push somehow. Maybe this pawn push as well. And creating some threats on bishop to a6. If he pushes the pawn, I'll just capture this pawn. Pawn captures. Maybe bishop to a6. No, he didn't do that. Attacks my pawn instead. What if I just push the pawn? Okay, let's push this one. I'll be having an open rook file, but the bishop is it to be developed. So I'll just capture this one. Attack the queen. What if I push this pawn? Pawn capture, knight captures, so that will be fine for me, right? Just trying to create some threat. If you will not be captured, my bishop will be open. That's the idea I'm just trying to have. I could not I shouldn't capture this pawn. But if I bring my queen out here, attacks the pawn. Okay, this should be winning, I think. All my pieces are coming. This pawn is hanging out here. Okay, just try to defend with the knight. How will you defend this square now? How will you defend this square? Maybe I can bring queen to f6 as well, queen to f5 as well. Which one would be good? Queen to f5 looks like more good. Bishop, rook. This rook, this rook is protected. Everything is protected though. But queen check is coming up next. Knight can be developed somehow here. Knight can come out here as well. I'll go check and then knight to come 6. So you just move up there. So let's bring up the. You weaken the c6 square. No problem. I have an active piece on the g5. If I go this move, if you just capture, I have queen check. And king comes here. I have rook check next. And if knight defends, I have queen coming up here. So how will I defend? So I can give check first. There must be something over here. Shall I go and capture the knight out here? Rook captures, then after I can capture the pawn. Okay, that's also winning. When many pieces are there in the opponent territory, then it will be easier for you to win. Not only winning the piece, of course winning the game as well. If I bring my queen to g3, maybe you can simply go and capture the. You can bring up the rook to f3. Yeah, capturing an e2 was winning, but this is also winning. Capturing e2 was immediately winning. I saw it after I moved the knight. However, this is also winning the game. I can simply capture this one and maybe I can bring up the rook here. So here, what is the playable move for white? What will he play? Can I go for capturing of this one? This is captured, everything is captured. And maybe I can have some threat over here. Just go for pawn push, and pawn push. This is winning. You don't have anything to be done. You are a 2 pawn down, so this is also capturable, I think. So he's just trying to create some threat out there. Maybe with an extra pawns. Maybe king will come here. So shall I go for. Shall I go for pawn push? Pawn push out there. King comes here. So what will be the next? Pawn push, king comes here. Okay, this check is out here. So just defend it. Just bring up the rook. Just capture this one. One push. Okay, what did I play? Was that necessary. I didn't think that was necessary out there. So he is creating some threat now. He's trying to capture everything. He is just trying to capture everything. Oh my god. OMG, if he just captured, then might create some threat. No, that's not good one. I just blundered, I think. Very, very bad. So sad. Winning, losing a winning game is very bad. So let's see, guys, what's going on in the tournament. Let's see what's happening. The final round is to start. We have Maestro Lal Dangul playing with Muk. He is Umis Saha, I think, and Maestro Lal winning the game. The final round to start, and the final round will be played between. Okay, Siddesh Bhandari won the one with Sudeep Tamang. Final round is here with Badilal Nepali. Will Badilal Nepali be winning the game or Siddesh Bhandari will be winning game? We'll be seeing out here. So guys, keep watching. Do not go anywhere. I'll have some food and come back to you guys. This is the final game. Keep watching. Do not go anywhere. Keep enjoying. Have fun.
When I
The audio bitrate is 0. I just forgot to just. OMG. I was just speaking alone. Ha. Guys, why didn't you comment that the audio is not audible? Okay, no problem. I just made it up. Rook is coming to the d6 most probably. 3 seconds. Okay, he didn't play that. I'll just capture this one. Rook might come up on the h1. So it looks like this is draw's position. Who will be able to win? Black have some threats immediately from the king side. White have some threat on the queen side, like pawn push, and rook check might come up. So maybe pawn push again. Rook check is there. Will he go for another rook? No, he didn't go for it. We've got so many messages. There are the notice. Okay, how would maybe I'll just bring up the rook out here. Now I can bring up the king. Looks like I just move up the pawn. Okay, I just can capture this one, then capture, then pawn push, queen comes up, queen comes up. That's the only idea. Oh no, he just tried to go for some different move. Pawn push and queen comes up, queen comes up. That's his idea. But will he go for sacrificing up the rook? Overall, this is also draw's position. Looks like black have some threat. Queen is coming up. Then they check. Maybe somehow some threats, but still no chance for winning. Hard for black to win this game. I cannot go and capture this pawn. White just go and capture it immediately. If you go for check, I'll just capture it out. Go for capturing of this pawn. Now there's some chances. Rook is coming into the game, and this is winning for black now. Why did you go for capturing of the pawn out there? So this is completely winning for Mani Samal. And if you just try for X here, so I think this is completely draw when you just go for pawn king to e4 and comes here, king comes here, there's no threats, and go for here. Then I think just go and capture. And just blunder when he gave check. Just go for this one. Check. Yeah, that's immediately losing when capturing the pawn. Maybe here, then after here, then goes here, then goes here. You cannot go here immediately again, as there is queen capture. So you have to capture this one. Or there are some possibility like just pushing up the pawns. Yeah, that's possible out there. Okay, guys, I think it's almost over. We have Satish Bhandari with 9.5 winning the tournament. 3 draws, 2 made it draw, and 1 with the game draw. Yeah, that ended up with draw. So overall, it's fine. We have second position. We have FM Satish. Sorry, first position we have FM Satish Bhandari. Second position we have FM Mani Samal. Third position 3-time Nepal champion Badla Nepali. CMK Subshrestha former Nepal champion. Young player Sudeep Tamang, Ashish Pyal, Singleshwar Das, Suman Rai, Vivek Singh. 9th, 10th Vijeshwar. Similarly, and other players just getting much more experienced and practice. Okay, the prize will be distributed tomorrow after publishing the results. So guys, keep enjoying, keep playing, have fun, learn more. You have M. Kumar Karki playing with MKC Tharu. MKC Tharu is Mahesh Kumar Chaudhary from Sarlahi, I think. Yeah, maybe. Okay, this is almost over. Only 2 more games left, and this is winning for black completely. What is he trying to do? Rook check. king comes out, just pawn push, or even this is fine. Pawn push, and queen up, and this is winning. Okay, guys, it's over. Okay, just give up the just give up the rook. It's over. There we have. Here is the winner. Here is the result. FM Satish Bhandari, FM Manish Samal, CM Keshav Shrestha, three-time Nepal champion Batilal Nepali, former Nepal champion Keshav Shrestha, Sudeep Tamang, new player with 1900 rated player Asis Huyal, Singesar Das, Suman Rai, Vivek Singh, Yam Kumar Karki after winning, Mahesh Kumar Chaudhary came into top 10. That's great. Thank you. तिमीलाई आज विशेष बधाई फर्स्ट भएकोमा. That's great. Have Okay, guys, that was a great game. That was a great game. We pray for Deepak Bajracharya, brother of a chess player who just lost his life a few days ago, and on his 13 day ago. So that was happened. Okay, guys, thank you and have fun. Keep learning, keep enjoying. We'll be coming up more with many videos and of course with many more games. Maybe we'll be having live tomorrow if everything will be fine. If I will be okay, I got a challenge, so maybe I can play a challenge in the live right at this moment. So this is fine. Play Vladimir. Let's play a game. However, I'm not feeling well. If I'll be okay tomorrow, then I'll be playing with the subscriber tomorrow. So guys, we will be having fun tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday. Mostly we'll be having fun Saturday. So if I will be having good health, then we'll be having fun. Let's play a game, then end up the stream. Hope you guys enjoy. Keep watching. Do not go anywhere, as this is the final game before we end up the streaming. As I got a challenge before. Okay, mostly you have to capture with the queen at this moment, so that knight can come to the f6 and knight can go to the d4. Of course, if you go for knight capturing on the knight capturing on the d7, then okay, what is that? Vishal Rai, online coaching गर्ने कोही छ. Yes, there are many coaches who goes for online coaching. I will be contacting you, Vishal Rai. Do not worry for it. I got some requests. Okay, some prizes. Hello, bro. Prize. के भयो मेरो prize? Okay, prize will be distributed tomorrow. So do not worry for it. Maybe you can bring up knight here. Isn't that possible? So what if I just go and capture the pawn knight here, or simply bring up the queen? Okay, can I go for a long side castle? Guys, if I do not see anything today, so please forgive me that. And if I go my knight here, pawn push is possible, so that's also not good. I think I can simply go and castle. I just try to capture the knight. Okay, I'll just capture. I'll just attack the pawn out here. And if knight comes out here, I can simply capture. Just try to attack my knight. So I go for queen to b6, attacks the pawn. Or what should I play next? Or simply bring the king to b8. Just trying to bring the rook to c8, trying to create some threat out the king side. Open. Okay. Maybe I'll be having, if knight coming out here. I'm not sure what should be played, but let's go for knight to g4. Kindly contact at our base. Okay, just grab up the pawn. Wow. Can I bring my knight back? Where will that queen go? If you just capture, I'll just capture it out. Yeah, there is a few space for him to be played. But I think I can simply capture this one. Just capture, I'll capture with the pawn. I can go and capture this pawn as well. But today I'm not playing that well. I used to play. I'm not able to think. I'm just moving up the pieces. Maybe I can go and capture the pawn. Shall I go and capture this pawn? My pieces are still not developed. That's very bad. That's very bad. Pieces need to be developed. Where will his queen go? This capture, I'll capture with the pawn. I can capture this pawn as well. Can I have some threat? Like bishop can go somewhere and just go for check. Let's try to give up the rook. Was that necessary giving up the rook? If I just capture and rook check, I just bring this rook back. But there is a threat like bishop check is possible. Okay, there is a threat like bishop check is possible. That's fine. He just give check and then bishop check. That's immediately possible out there. So in this case, I just capture, bishop check, then pawn push. If rook check, I can bring up the king first. So I think I can capture this one. Let's capture it out. Let's try what will happen. Let's see, I don't know. If bishop check, we have pawn push. Okay, this is losing for me. This is losing. This is losing for me. As I cannot move up the king out forward, rook check is coming up. I have to bring up the rook. So I don't know, I'm not able to think today. I have saw this is losing, so still I played the same. So this is losing for me. I don't know whether he will see this one or not. There is rook check, I have to move the rook back, and then after bishop check, then checkmate. So he didn't see that. I saw it, but he didn't see that. So it's good for me. I don't know. I don't know what did I play. There was not necessary capturing of this rook. There was no necessity of capturing of this one. Knight, it was also not necessary. I could capture this one. Rook captures. Okay, this is winning now. Giving up everything. Thank you, Lee Vladimir. Okay, I think he should resign, but still he's playing. Let's give up the pawns. Let's push up the pawns. Just giving up the pawns for free. What you will move next? I'll just move up the one. Come here. No problem. I'll just capture. Okay, he just gave up for free. I didn't capture. What was that? Okay, you should resign. Thank you. We are going to end up the streaming after this over. I don't know why he is giving me up the time. So I can't capture this pawn. I can't capture this pawn if he just pushes up. Just push the pawn. I can simply go and attack the pawn. Just bring up the king. Okay, I can take the waiting move. Just move up the king. And just move up the king. And just move up the king. And then after checkmate. Thank you, and bye bye, guys. Oh, it was nice to have the game. It did was a tournament that ended up very soon. Thank you. We had a long streaming today, 2 hours and 25 minutes, most probably. Thank you.